Judge, I'm curious, what do you think Trump needs to do in this first 100 days? And how do you feel about his picks? Was Gates pulling out a setback? Do you think the rest of his picks are going to be approved?
I think they'll wind up being approved because the Republican Party will be in the majority in the Senate. I think it would be something that people will be very reticent about going against Trump now with his landslide. The American press is not saying what it is, but it's a landslide. It's a real bad landslide under the circumstances. And if you look at a map and you discount the states that are blue and look at what's in those states that's blue, you see there's some major metropolitan areas, but you see most of the North American landmass is red. And we've already had a civil war. England had that's what's going on. And that's what I'm talking about. As to why it was so critical to do something about that, because everyone that I know that's doing social media over here, which is our alternative to the legacy media setup, is saying that they've been noting these things. It's almost like a last gasp thing. Let's try and do what we can before we lose it.
Yeah, it's a bit like Biden sending those missiles into Russia. And so we were talking about those
first... That was dumb, by the way.
Yeah, I know. We're going to get to that, I think. So those first 100 days for Trump, I think you were talking about that, some of these appointments. What were your thoughts there?
I liked his Gates appointment, and he's a lawyer. He's done some work in the courtrooms, which is good. He's got more experience than most in that respect, since he has. And we need somebody who is into politics to rein in some of these alphabet agencies that we have in the United States, because they're getting much into that 90-year-ago thing, 1934 bit we had in Deutschland, with some unfortunate folk that revised that Roman salute. So, and we just got an example of that with the cutoff. Now, I like it that somebody from outside who is not part of an entrenched bureaucracy gets to rein that bureaucracy in, get rid of the dead wood, get rid of those people who have gotten too ideologically comfortable with something that's out of touch with the American Republic. And I will say this, I am particularly concerned with the need for somebody to vigorously subdue the FBI and bring them back to where they're supposed to be. When I had that matter, being the last judge on the James Earl Ray matter, in other words, did he kill Dr. King? The answer was no. And it was without equivocation that the true culprits were the FBI. They arranged King being killed. It was J. Edgar Hoover who gave the orders. Wow. The FBI recruited a two-man hit team from the Quantico Marine Sniper Station, or training school, which is just across the tarmac from their facility. It was a two-man hit team that killed him from the fire station, not the flop house, not the bushes. It was planned that James Earl Ray was a convenient scapegoat, as were about 4 or 5 others. And when you have an American agency that does that kind of thing.
What the London Real Investment Club actually does for you, it gives you the keys to open that door to the inside deals. In the last 3 weeks, I've participated in 3 incredible deals: a layer 2 Bitcoin protocol, an incredible AI protocol. The deal flow is beyond what I expected. I don't think I've ever seen a model like this that just gives average folks the opportunity to be behind the deals, and that's exactly what we've done. Not only that, you get to hang out with Brian Rose every week, and for me, that was huge, because I look at Brian as somebody who's not only an expert in the space, and I think is on the leading edge, but just the leading edge of thought with London Real and the work he's doing there. To anyone who's taking a serious look at this, I know it's a big decision. It was a big decision for me and my family, and it is one of the best decisions I've ever made. So I wish you all the best, and hope you come join us.
Something that needs to be done, and it does not come from somebody who's within.
Right.
He's appointed a woman who seems to be nominally qualified, but in my 50 years of doing what I've done in the criminal justice system, I have come to severely distrust career prosecutors. She may be an exception to the rule, and I know some who have been, but generally, career prosecutors are not good people because they've gotten jaded. They've seen their colleagues make fortunes in the practice of law. Meanwhile, they're still on civil servant salary. They've been doing something for 25, 30 years. They've become cynical, jaded, and it's like a funeral home director. You hear an ambulance and people going, oh my God, I hope nobody got hurt. And the director's going, business. You see, they have a wrong mindset. So maybe she'll prove okay, but somebody needs to rein this industry in that is operated by the Justice Department, that keyword justice, which means justice for all in the American system, not just prosecuting showpiece crooks and trying to deal with imposition of a political outlook by bringing sham politically motivated prosecutions against people who aren't towing the party line. See, so we need somebody like that, and I'm glad of his choices. Now, I knew one of his previous choices before, Miss DeVos, who had been Secretary of Education. Now, I knew her because my ex-wife and her were friends, and the lady and her husband, who was one of the was the Mary Kay Cosmetics heir, would come over to a house I had up in Aspen, Colorado, ski resort area. And she was a good person. She was very enthused about youth and children, set up a lot of programs. She had no formal experience nor education nor employment when it came to educating children, but she had the right kind of drive and was looking at it from an outside perspective. So that kind of thing is not bad to bring to bear. It's like even the president himself, outside of our particularized examples like General George Washington, General Ulysses Simpson Grant, General Ike Eisenhower, for the most part, are presidents who happen to be also the commander-in-chief of the U.S. military, mighty as it has become, have been civilians in their background, so they don't bring the expertise of the particular department into play. They just understand the aspects of it as a political instrument. What did Clausewitz say, the general? War is but the ultimate extension of the political process, so it makes good sense that the commander-in-chief understands the political process because he is the political and functional administrative head of the U.S. government, therefore commander-in-chief. But just like the commander-in-chief does not have to be part of the military, nor does the person who runs a cabinet office or cabinet agency necessarily need to be part of that bureaucracy. In fact, we have an intense need to have some people outside of those bureaucracies who will put them in check because they have gotten too powerful when they answer to no one except themselves. So I approve of what Trump's doing.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing in crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.